Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. I'm Joseph Abraham. Today, I am going to talk about QuickBooks and Freshbooks. They're two billing platforms, and I'm going to compare them. First off, I just want to say that I've been freelancing pretty much my entire adult life. Even if I had a job, I would tend to freelance on the side. Right now, I'm currently freelancing full-time, although I have worked at a lot of different places, in the kind of web design, web development, web marketing world. And one of the things that I really just hate, and I'm not using that word lightly, is billing. It's one of those things that really just seems so easy, but for some reason, it's like the last thing I always do. And I have a really hard time not giving people invoices late. So for me, I really needed to find kind of an online billing system that worked for me and, wasn't creating a situation where my business would look less legitimate. So basically, I'm going to talk about the cost of these two services, FreshBooks and QuickBooks. And then I'm going to talk about how user-friendly they are. And then I'm going to kind of give you my personal preference for my specific small business model. Okay, so as far as cost goes, roughly $300, and I'm estimating, a month, then you're going to pay more with FreshBooks than you would with QuickBooks Online. QuickBooks Online, the minimum plan is $5 a month, and there's very minimal fees. It's basically just a super minor credit card fee, and it actually varies based on the form of payment. So like if you're using American Express, for example, the fees tend to be higher. If somebody is paying you with American Express, I mean, the fees tend to be higher. Where if they're paying you with MasterCard, it tends to be lower. And if they're doing like a direct bank transaction with QuickBooks, it tends to be even lower than that. FreshBooks, on the other hand, is a flat percentage. I think it's like 4% or 3%, which is quite a bit more than QuickBooks. I'm not even really sure of the percent. I just know it's more because I use both of them. And FreshBooks does cost more, so that is a huge consideration. As far as recurring billing goes, it's easier to set up recurring billing in FreshBooks, but FreshBooks has it where it costs, you still have to deal with that percentage, so it tends to cost a lot more. Where I don't know the exact price off the top of my head, but QuickBooks Online, you have to have like some kind of upgraded membership where it's like $20 a month or something, maybe 30. But all I know is basically the point I'm trying to make is that it costs more to get a subscription-based payment with QuickBooks, and it costs less with FreshBooks. But FreshBooks is percentage-based. So once you pay that fee and say you're making $1,000 a month in recurring revenue, QuickBooks Online is going to be cheaper. Cost model, I have to really give it to QuickBooks. It's definitely the cheaper choice for the vast majority of legitimate freelancers. So that being said, let's move on to the next topic, and that's user friendliness. As far as which kind of online like sitemap like layout is friendly, it's a hands down. FreshBooks wins this one across the board. FreshBooks was clearly designed for freelancers, where QuickBooks Online kind of comes from an accounting background. So because of that, you tend to see things kind of organized the way an accountant or a tax professional would organize information. So a lot of the things that we would use on a daily basis as a freelancer become a little bit hard. And even after using that platform for years, I found myself personally forgetting how to do certain functions that were very regular, things that I would do almost on a weekly basis. And I'm not like a slow person. It's just the way it's set up is not to be for someone who's freelancing. FreshBooks, on the other hand, everything is prioritized in front of you in the way a freelancer would want. The first thing you have there, like right when you pop in, is all of your invoices. You can quickly see, what's out. Another advantage is that with FreshBooks, you can, if somebody decides to pay you with a cash payment or a check payment, you can easily implement it into there, where in QuickBooks Online, that's actually very difficult. And I've kind of found that very annoying. It's with QuickBooks Online, it's very annoying to take an outside payment that didn't go through the system and add it to your booking. to your book so that it's still recorded properly. So hands down, I'm going to say that QuickBooks wins the user friendliness. It's made for freelancers. It works for that. So basically we have, as far as cost goes, for the most part, QuickBooks Online is much cheaper. And then as far as user friendliness, FreshBooks is cheaper. So at the end of the day, you're probably asking, well, what do I use? I used QuickBooks Online for a little over 2 years, and it's a solid service. I would say it's worth the $5 a month for the minimal service. I never really got into using the recurring model for taking payments. I found it preferable just to use like a WordPress site to take payment, but that's like another story. But bottom line, rather than using that $20 or $40 service, I personally just prefer to create my own form of payment through like a website or something. So because I just didn't really find it like easy to use. However, I'm using FreshBooks right now. Like I'm billing all my clients with FreshBooks, and I actually find that to be a ton easier. So I think that really shows pretty clearly what my opinion is of which is like the more viable, useful program. And I would go QuickBooks all the way. Like I was saying at the beginning of this video, I have a really hard time with billing, and it's something that really kind of annoys me. And it's one of those things I tend not to get done as quickly as I should. And I really feel that QuickBooks has actually made me, not only do I spend less time doing it, but I look a lot better client side because I'm more on top of billing things like immediately. So that's it. As far as my personal opinion, FreshBooks is the clear winner. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'm going to be doing these videos on a daily basis. I missed one yesterday, so I'll probably do another this afternoon. But if you have any questions about just kind of freelancing in general or web development or WordPress, make sure to leave them in the comments below. Feel free to email me or whatever. I would love to hear from anybody. And yeah, thanks for checking out this video. Thanks for popping into my stream. I will see you later.